Ah, Washington. The state named after our boy George. Not boy George, but our boy George. George Washington. You know, the first president. He had wooden teeth. Regardless, Washington is gorgeous and the perfect place to birth our latest top 10 moments brought to you by Silent Ninja. At number 10, we have another batch of the peels. At number 9, we have Kaden Lebsack's one-arm wonder. You know those carnival scams? I mean, challenges, carnival challenges, where you can give somebody $20 and hang from a spinning bar until a motor very gradually begins to rotate the bar towards you. I'm just kidding. I'm sure they are very legit business people with an honest business practice. No matter what, imagine you're on that thing, but you have to hang from one hand. And instead of a small group of your bros just sort of slurring encouragement at you between course lights, you have a giant audience, and it's live streamed, and it's at the end of a pro level obstacle course that nobody could finish, and the entire mechanism swings on a pendulum. Well, that's a decent approximation of what Kaden did at the end of his open run on the Crux obstacle. This lasted way longer than anybody should be able to hang one-handed. At number 8, we have Mikao's insane 6-fall open course run from Wave 1, which still qualified him for finals. Tornado, hurricane, tsunami, regardless of whichever natural disaster you want to reference, Mikao took to the open course with a ferocity that kept our mouths wide open in a 3-minute and 12-second gasp. The speed and tenacity was jaw-dropping, and get this, the most technical fails while still making it into the finals this season before Life Force was 3. That means all of the male athletes who made it into the top 15 so far this year had 3 or fewer fails. Mikao had 6, and the combination of saves and fails mixed with his style of movement and athleticism was so fun to watch that we knew we were in for a wild weekend. At number 7, we have the women's Send Train on the hybrid course. So normally it's preteen boys who screech "Send Train" before doing their trick all in a row. We've all seen and heard it. But during the hybrid course, we were buzzerless and heading toward the end of the wave when Emily Keener said enough is enough and pushed a very important snowball down the proverbial hill. She, and then Savannah Selenas, and then Nora Brownjohn, all in a row took the hybrid down, punctuated by Nora's totally clean run. At number 6, we have Michael Chow's ring catch on the open course. I suppose what better time to break this thing down for those of you who weren't there but are here now. Trampoline. You're holding a bar. There are cradles that you may place the bar in. This will require traveling through the air with the bar. Now, there's a catch. Like literally, there's a catch. At the end of the obstacle, you're only allowed to travel forward using a ring. The ring is located on a track inside this wall structure. The only way to release the ring is to bang the bar against a button which is located between the 2 sets of cradles. The ring will then roll down a track and will be deposited into the open air where it's up to the athlete to catch it. Taking into consideration that a mistimed swing will make it impossible, traveling too slowly after the release will make it impossible. In fact, almost everything will make it impossible with the exception of executing everything perfectly. This was one of the most wild, extreme cases of barely making it we saw all weekend, and there were many. At number 5, you had to have known this one was coming. Emily Keener on the speed course. Ever seen an entire building gasp, wince, or like a combination of the two? Wasp? Gince? Anyway, that's what happened during Emily Keener's speed run. Around 10 seconds in, there's this angled box, a precision bar, and the route continues sort of off and onto this wall the entire first portion of the course. Watch her left heel. wee around, and then wee around again, and almost saving it, taking the reset time, finishing the speed course. She still got third place on the speed, and eventually second overall, losing only to Nora Brownjohn, another season champion. At number 4, speaking of speed courses, we have Kevin Rodriguez's speed run. The only one on the men's side to really knock the speed course out of the park at Life Force was Kevin Rodriguez. And out of the park, he knocked it. A full 3 seconds faster than Luke Beckstrand, the weekend's champion, and 6 seconds faster than third place. He hit beta and connected dots that nobody else could quite put together and took home the speed crown, as well as third place overall. At number 3, we have Savannah Selenas' timeout to third place finish behind 2 champions. In the second wave of the open course, a course that was filled to the cork with some of the most technical and new obstacles we've seen all year, Savannah Selenas stepped up to her second pro NSC. After what was one of the most outstanding performances of the day, she timed out just before hitting the buzzer to secure her that sweet and coveted open clear. This positioned her in second place. First place was last year's champion, and third place was the champion of season 2. Now, this is enough for bragging rights on its own, but Savannah wasn't done. After clearing the extended, more difficult hybrid course in the finals, she slotted herself again in the top 3, just behind the 2 previous champs. Speed was next, and once again, she found herself sandwiched in between the 2 former champions, and after a 5th place burnout run, Savannah stood on the podium in third place at the event. Her only company was season 2's number 1 Emily Keener and season 3's number 1 Nora Brownjohn. At number 2, Luke Beckstrand getting wrecked and then wrecking the competition back. There's a difference between fighting your way through the course and getting in an actual fight with the course, and Luke may have lost a bunch of battles that weekend, but gosh dang it, he won the war. So anyway, you can't see his first fall, but if you listen closely... Next, it was the old burn all the skin off his arm trick, followed by the it's raining metal bars on Luke trick, followed by it's raining metal bars on Luke part 2, followed by the watch what I can do with my neck, followed by it's raining metal bars on Luke part 3, followed by you guys thought I was done with the hybrid course, LOL, followed by my dad got a kick out of that, followed by my girlfriend is glad I'm alive, followed by it's raining metal bars on Luke part 4, followed by an absolute monster performance on the burnout, and ladies and gentlemen, his first place NSC. Luke, you animal, you earned it. At number 1, we have Nora with the first clean sweep of the year. There have been a lot of firsts this year, but this one has an argument to take the cake. Very, very few people have ever had what it's called a clean sweep in an NSC weekend. As the most competitively mature league with the deepest, hard-hitting athlete pool, there is simply too much talent in one spot at one time. I know of Taylor Green, Jay Lewis, Kaden Lebsack, and now Nora Brownjohn. Now, the only super clean sweep would include the open course win as well, right? One athlete that I know of has done this once in season 1 at Obstacle Academy, and it was Taylor Green. The ultimate undefeated weekend has happened twice in 4 years of NSC history, and it took almost the entire lifespan of the league so far for it to happen again. Once in season 1, and now in the most recent competition in NSC history. In order to do this, you have to outpace, outlast, and outperform dozens and dozens of the top level athletes on the planet on multiple courses, with countless untouched brand new obstacles 4 times in a row. There's no wonder this has only happened twice. It's astonishing that it's happened at all, and it would be baffling for it ever to happen again. However, after this season of NSC, I'm used to being baffled, and by golly, I welcome it. We have 1 qualifier left, 1 more chance at a qualifying spot in the most stacked Ninja Finals in the world of obstacle course competitions. Thanks to Silent Ninja for sponsoring another Top 10 Moments. We will see you in Chicago.